Hello everybody, JT Bear here. Thank you for joining me today. I'm going to have to film this in little snippets and segments because there's sounds like an arm wrestling competition going on down at the local park. Anywho, the main thing I wanted to share with you guys today is the collection that came home from the nurseries. We hit what used to be the Art Naps, and now it's called Garden Works, and Canadian Tire actually. And yeah, let me show you what came home from where. You might be a little surprised. I was. At the Art Naps for $4.99 we found this beautiful Cuban oregano. For those of you who have never grown it, I suggest giving it a try. These big fat poofy leaves are filled with the most aromatic and just amazing, I want to call it a sap, but it's really more like a gel like you'd find in an aloe vera leaf. These are awesome. So I'm going to be taking this into the greenhouse because it did exceptionally well in the aquaponics a couple of years ago. Couldn't find one last year, but we did have one a couple of years ago. And I am going to be cloning it off so that we can bring it into the house because unfortunately, unlike my Greek and golden oregano that are practically immortal, this dies at as soon as it even thinks it might maybe get cold. That's it, she's dead. Gone. Like the Malabar spinach that way, so definitely need a clone of this to come inside. Beautiful Cuban oregano. I love it. So that was at the Garden Works, Garden World, whatever, used to be Art Naps. I'll figure out the new name sooner or later. Also at that actual nursery we found this lovage, I don't know. But it comes highly recommended to Chox by one of her co-workers as a wonderful herb to grow, so that should be fun. It's got an interesting leaf, and I love exploring new edibles with this whole aquaponic gardening thing, so that is going to be very, very interesting. Let's just pick one of these leaves off and see what we think. Okay, that is a very interesting sort of, I don't know, almost like a spicy lettuce. Ooh, it's got more of an after flavor than a straight up flavor. Okay, cool. I'm still going to go with some sort of a spicy lettuce. It's not a real spice like I like from my peppers, but that has got a good savory sort of intensity to it. Yay! Thanks to her for suggesting this. Lovage. Chox found this today. Again, this was $4.99 at the X Art Naps. Alright, let's look at the stuff that came home from the Canadian Tire box store, as it were. Alright. Appropriate enough from the box store, we brought it out in a box. But here we have 4 more plants that are going to be going into my semi-permaculture garden. So those who do the cross viewing, you'll be seeing these again shortly. But here we have the smoky Saskatoon. Let's take that out and take a look at it. I have been obsessed with Saskatoon berries ever since I was a little kid. I grew up, we lived on Jubilee right by the Bridge Drive-In across the Red River. I'd go get Saskatoon berry shakes, and that was it. Hooked. Best berry in the world right there, Saskatoon berry. Not sure how this smoky variety is going to do, but it's part of the permaculture or semi-permaculture garden now, isn't it? $14.99. Good price for something that'll bear fruit for years, I think. Next we have these two, which some of you will recognize. I think Southpaw Davy, you mentioned that you've grown these here gojis before. Hardy goji berries. So that'll be a nice change from the purple and the dark blue. But we got 2 of these because these were only $10 each. So that's pretty awesome. Now look at all of the shoots coming up in there. I think somebody's going to be doing a little cloning in the aquaponic garden with these too, because you can never have too many fruit-bearing shrubs and bushes. Especially, you know, it's my understanding these goji berries are considered to be a superfruit, and from the price I've seen on them at the store, they better be super something. You know what I'm saying? Alright. Last but not least, Polaris blueberry. Look at that cluster of fruit. I would be so thrilled to be harvesting clusters like that. But here we go. It's yet another one. Similar to the honeyberries, but you know, more of a traditional blueberry. And as you can see, it's already got some little flower clusters in there. So I'm going to want to be kind of careful with this when I transplant it. But that's going to be a lot of fun. I'll be dealing with all that, like I say, on the Clean Valley Farms channel. But for now, I'm going to leave them in the shade, water them A little bit tonight and a little bit more tomorrow morning. Then I get the fun job of turning some compost, so I've got some fresh soil to put those in, making sure I've got drainage holes in the buckets and, you know, all that usual stuff. But this will basically double the size of the semi-permaculture garden, so that's super exciting to me. Right now, though, I think we're going to head off out into the greenhouse and try plunking in at least a couple cuttings from that Cuban oregano, because I cannot get started soon enough on guaranteeing one of those well-rooted to bring in the house before fall, because seriously, a tiny bit of cold, dead. It's pathetic that way. Alright, to the greenhouse! On our way to the greenhouse, though, those banana peppers are coming along nicely. Of course the wind picks up, but yes, coming along quite nicely. Bucket seems to have been a good idea. Take a quick peek here in the shed in the box. Well, the red currant might be doing okay. That raspberry, I just don't know. The honeyberries look alright though. It's nice and warm in here, but not terribly bright. Need to take off some of these leaves, I guess, trim it down a little bit, but that almost looks like new growth. Could use a little iron next time I water it, I think. Cool. Some of these peppers out in front of the greenhouse are coming along nicely. A couple of these lemon yellow hot peppers are doing well. Grow, peppers, grow! Good thing I came in here too. Looks like some of these soil peppers could use some water. Not happy. Alright, we'll do those first and then we'll deal with the herbs. Well, I guess it's definitely time to call it on that poor little Nepalese bell. I'll plant some more of those with some more Scotch bonnets, because none of those made it. Check out the little blue though. Little tiny peppers everywhere. They don't get too terribly much bigger than that. They're just kind of a little, I don't know. They're just a tiny hot pepper, really. You dry them up and they almost look like black peppercorns. They get so small. I tell you, you put them into your sauces or your stews and you know they're there. It's a great plant though, just love it. Probably the best looking of all the peppers, really. Alright, well I'm not entirely sure where I'm going to put these as plants permanently. So I think I'll just go dirty aquaponics and shove the container right into the water there so it'll stay nice and moist. And that's the lovage for now. But that Cuban oregano, I want to start cloning right now. Speaking of cloning, let's see how these two are doing. This is one of the oreganos, because I firmly believe in no such thing as too much oregano. Excellent. I'll transplant that over here in a minute. And here's one of the indigo rose tomato cuttings from the other day. Nothing started on it yet. It's not exactly completely wilted and dead, so we'll see. Might be hope for that still. This particular position in the bed, the water stays at kind of a constant, so as I mentioned the other day, I don't think that's necessarily the best way to root, but it's a great way to keep things evenly moist. Which basically means in you go, little oregano, and you're in the water line, so you're good. Okay, a couple of cuttings and we'll get started. Oh, I wish you could feel and smell these. Look how thick that is, right? And you can see the veins in the back of these leaves. These are just ripping full of moisture. Squeeze any out there. I'll cut one of those leaves off. We'll cut it open and take a look. Needed to take the leaves off to prep those two clones anyway, but look at that. That is just a massive pile of beautiful Cuban oregano. You see that moisture there? Oh, it's incredible. Makes me wish we were having beef for dinner tonight. Look at that. With all they say about the benefits of oregano oil, I would say this is definitely the plant to be harvesting that from. I would love to be able to press a pound of this and just see how much fluid I can get. Shall we see if I can grow a pound of this then? Aha! A personal summer challenge. I love it! Well, normally I would just tuck them in over here, but this appears to be some seriously occupied space. Could be in there amongst the kale. Alright, I'll have to show you what this looks like done, because there's no way I'm getting my hands in there, and the camera in there, and the plants in there. Be right back. Well, there they are, all neatly tucked into their new bed. Sleep tight, little oreganos. Grow big, grow strong. Mwah! Alright everybody, well it's hot out and I've got a nice cool beverage waiting for me in the house, so I am headed that way. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope you have yourselves a fantastic day from this point on. See you later.